let's talk One Piece. Okay, so it's back. I haven't taken a several-month break from this. No, that didn't happen at all. Okay, so this episode basically picks up where the last one left off, where Luffy punches Kuro in the face. And immediately after this, everybody starts freaking out because Captain Kuro just got punched in the face by a guy with devil fruit powers, and they're all freaking out. And then the Usopp pirates show up and start beating him in the face, which only serves to make Kuro even more angry. So, probably not the best idea, except that he doesn't really care about the kids. He gets up, walks away, and basically stares down Luffy. He focuses his attention directly on Luffy, completely ignores the kids, because he knows they're kids, they're not going to do anything. And starts bantering with Luffy about his powers and all that. Meanwhile, Django is sent to go after them, which doesn't work out for Django all that much. A little bit, sort of. He's kind of stopped a little bit, because before he can do anything, Usopp tells the Usopp pirates to protect Kaya and run away. Get her as far away from Django as he can. And then shoots Django in the back to give them more time, which only delays him by a couple seconds. Long enough for them to run away, but not long enough for them to escape him entirely. And then immediately after, Zoro, who's been fighting with Butchie this entire time because Django sicked Butchie on Zoro, finally has enough, and the two have been in a standstill up until this point. Zoro finally has enough, defeats Butchie again, and then scoops up Usopp, who is having a hard time standing up, but is that determined to make sure Kaya is safe. And then the two walk away while Luffy deals with Kuro. And Luffy gets his ass kicked, because even though Luffy is powerful, he's still no match for Captain Kuro, who is extremely fast and extremely agile and extremely quick, and gets punched in the face, which is when the pirates start cheering and call him Captain Kuro, which upsets him because he doesn't want to be known as Captain Kuro anymore. He's tired. He says he's tired of being a pirate, and then we get a flashback of how he and Django made the plan to rid Calador of his Captain Kuro name forever, and they used hypnotism to do it. And this succeeds because they bring the imposter Captain Kuro back with the Marine, and the Marine because he's hypnotized takes them a fake captain, when in actuality it was in fact just an imposter. So it wasn't actually Captain Kuro. And then at this, Luffy takes a giant rock, catches one of Captain Kuro's little claw hands in it, and breaks it off, leaving him with only one hand to fight with. So already Captain Kuro is at a disadvantage because now he can only fight with one hand, and all he's got now are his sidestepping techniques. So all Luffy really needs to do is disarm his other hand, and he can't do anything. And that's pretty much where the episode ends, because the first couple seasons are a bit fillery because of how the anime and manga were published back in the day. The manga was really slow at being published back in the day, and then the anime had to overstuff it with filler to basically keep up and make sure they didn't go through the material too quickly. And it works for a while, and then manga got digital, and people were able to make it a lot faster, so now there's no more filler. Well, mostly. There's one anime that uses filler, and that was made recently, but we're not going to talk about that one. We're not talking about that one. We're talking about One Piece. Completely different. It's okay for it to have filler because it's old. But yeah, I like this episode. It was really interesting to see Usopp make a show of trying to stand up, even though he physically couldn't because of how broken his bones were and how injured he was. But he was that determined to make sure that Claudor didn't have his way with the village anymore, that he was willing to defy his own broken body just to stand up. And that was pretty much the highlight of the episode. He tried to stand up, but he couldn't. But he did anyway, at least for a moment, because he was tired of Claudor basically having his way with everybody and just doing whatever the hell he wanted. And that really shows for Usopp's character here, because Usopp, up until this point, everybody thinks he's a liar, but he's actually a pretty noble person and lies to protect them, kind of, sort of. As one of the previous episodes says, he's an honorable liar. He lies, but he does so for the sake of other people. For example, he's been lying to Kaya for years so that she has something to do besides just sitting on her bed withering away to nothing. He's a good person, but he does bad things to be a good person. It's interesting. And I like that about his character a lot. The fact that, yeah, he lies, but he's also a good person deep down, and anybody who knows him well enough knows that. And seeing this scene just shows what he's willing to go through to help the people he loves. That's devotion. I like that part of the episode. And that was mainly what the episode was highlighting. So, yeah, that was a good part of the episode. I liked this episode, because this episode just shows so much of Usopp's character, and it also shows Luffy kind of sort of getting his ass kicked. But we don't talk about that one, because he's Luffy. He has to be around for, like, what, 20 more seasons? Until they just finally decide to end it when they find One Piece, even though they can buy a 6-piece at McDonald's for $3.99. I had to make that joke, I'm sorry. But yes, it's interesting to see character development in an anime like this. I mean, yeah, not every anime has to have character development. It's very good. It's very good when you have it, but in some cases, not having character development works because the character is meant to be a static character. In this case, not the case. They're supposed to grow as people. They're supposed to be better people by the end of the story. And I like that in this show. And I'm sorry for taking such a long break from it, because I love this show, but my main excuse is, and other people will agree with me on this, it's very hard to watch all of One Piece in one sitting. I will attest to that. People have stated that it's very hard to watch this show in one sitting. And that makes sense, because it's a very good show, but it's also a very long one. And if you don't take a break every once in a while from watching it, you're going to go mad. It's going to drive you insane. But yeah, I hope you guys just enjoyed me reviewing this episode, and I do want to know if you guys have seen this episode of One Piece. What did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below or over on my Discord server. Link in the description as always. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, hit that like and the subscribe button. Also be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. I could always use a new addition to the Moon Rabbit Army, and doing all of the above pretty much helps with that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!